Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, my name is Chantel and I'm so glad that you clicked on this video for this week. It is Sunday the 20th of July and I really want to see how many books I can read within 1 week using the TBR jar basically. So I'm going to pick a book, read it, give you my thoughts, and then I'm going to try to do this pretty quickly, and then we're going to move on to as many books as we can by Saturday basically, so the 26th. So let's pick a book. I don't really have a certain mood that I'm in, that like a book I really want to read, so we're just going to pick something pink. And it is, oh, she's really wrapped. In 5 Years. I think this is Rebecca Searle. Let me go grab that. So this is In 5 Years. It's 251 pages, and it was by Rebecca Searle. So I hope I'm saying that correctly. So this basically follows a lady named Danny, and she has a really good life. She has a really good friend named Bella. She has a boyfriend. She basically nails her most important job interview, and her boyfriend proposes all within like the same amount of time, and she's just living a really good life. And basically she wakes up for 1 hour 5 years in the future with a different ring on her finger, engaged to a different person, and she spends 1 hour basically in the future, and then when she wakes up again it's midnight back 5 years backwards. So interesting concept. I feel like this is the type of book that's gonna make me cry, so yay for that. I'm hoping that I fly through this because it sounds really moving, and I think it would be really good just to fly through it because it's only 251 pages. So I'm going to use my little Emma bookmark that I painted myself. It says, it's a quote from the book, "Whom are you going to dance with? With you, if you will ask me." So yes, let's get reading and I'll let you know what my thoughts are. Hi, hello. So I ended up DNFing In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle, and I technically recorded me picking out the guest list by Lucy Foley, but I was kind of whispering, and because it was like 5 o'clock in the morning when I was recording that video, because it's when I was getting ready for work and I feel like you can't hear me, so I'm just going to tell you here. I did DNF it. I got, I think, 7 pages in, and then I just was not really feeling the character. I kind of felt like she was the problem, and I kind of skimmed through the rest of the book, and it has a trope that I hate in it and it wasn't like what the book actually was versus what it says on the back of the cover. Like the synopsis and stuff are not the same thing, so I just didn't want to continue with it. So I picked out, or I didn't pick out, but I picked from the jar the guest list, and this is about it says, an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the +1, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid all have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer, which is very scary. And then let's see, and it's 386 pages in this mass marketed paperback, so I don't know how much it is for like the original paperback, but when I did that video I also forgot to read the first line, so I'll do that right now. It says, "Now, the wedding night, the lights go out." Dun dun dun. So I am going to start this. Hopefully I like it. I have heard really mixed reviews about the guest list, so I am unsure if I'm gonna like it or not. I heard some people say, some friends of mine have really liked it, and some people were like, literally it's like every other thriller. So I'm not sure, but I'm excited. I feel like it's kind of giving And Then There Were None Agatha Christie vibes. So I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that that's like that, in that sense of that kind of eeriness too, because that's one of my favorite books from Agatha Christie of all time. So fingers crossed. But I'll update you when I've actually read something from it. Hi, hello. So I am currently 62 pages into the guest list, and I'm enjoying it, but the characters are all very unlikable. And I want to read something kind of fluffy, or just not this, like basically kind of like a tandem read. So just switching off, just to kind of get me through it quicker, because if I do that, I know that I will get through this quicker, versus just trying to power through it and being bored and having to reread things. So yeah, I think also because this book is so hard to like hold and read, I'm not enjoying my reading experience so far. So I went and grabbed my TBR jar, and I'm just gonna pick I'll just pick one from this side. It's pink, so hoping to romance. Yes, it is. You had me at hola. Okay, so this is it's a pink book. I was hoping it wasn't gonna be like a black or gray or white book that I had to write on the pink slips. Let me go grab it one second. Okay, so I have the actual physical book, and I have it on my Kindle as well, because it's on Kindle Unlimited, which I didn't know. So that's really exciting. So it'll be easier for me to switch back and forth if I have it in both places. So I'll just read it from here because that's the easiest. It's 361 pages, and basically the synopsis for it is there's a girl named Jasmine, and she's like a soap opera star, or like she's an actress, and she gets dumped and fired from her, or I think she's fired. Is it fired, or did she just get dumped? Oh, yes. No, she didn't get fired. She got dumped by her boyfriend. And she's like all in the tabloids and stuff. And she is starring in this new, basically like a revamping or a reimagining of an old 1990s telenovela show. And this is like, it could be her big break. And then there's the guy, his name is Ashton, and he gets killed off of his telenovela show, but he gets put on as a last minute addition to the show she's going to be on. And it's kind of like I'm thinking it's kind of along the lines of like Jane the Virgin, where like it's a Netflix original. Like in the book, I think it's supposed to be like a Netflix, but it's not called Netflix, it's called something else. I think that's kind of what it's supposed to be. So she's like the main actress of a show like Jane the Virgin, I'm pretty sure is how it's supposed to be. And then they basically don't have good chemistry because he tries to meet her and impress her, and she's like, ugh. So they basically are like, okay, we're adults here, and we're gonna be stars of this TV show. Let's just practice our kissing. Which is funny. Like, I feel like that's almost kind of, it's bringing me back to, if you ever watched the old TV show Dance Academy, it's giving me those vibes, which I don't know how I feel about that. So yes, but obviously they end up falling in love, right? It's a romance book. So, but that's kind of the rundown of it. And this is, so chapter 1, it's called Dumped is the chapter title. It says, the word glared at Jasmine in bright yellow letters emblazoned directly beneath a picture of her own face. Yeah, that would be pretty bad. Okay, and then I also I picked out my bookmark already. It's this cute little one, and then I have my little tabs. I don't know if I'm actually going to annotate this or not, or if I'm just going to kind of go back and forth between my Kindle and the book, and I'm not going to actually use these. But if I do end up highlighting stuff on my Kindle, I'll just transfer it over to here and tab it. So that's probably what I'll do. I'm not actually gonna like write in the book or anything, but this is basically my reading for the next day or so. Hopefully I get through these really quickly. I do have a birthday party that I'm going to tonight for my friend, but it doesn't start for like another 45 minutes, and I live like 5 minutes from her house, so I don't need to leave for another like 35 minutes. So I'm gonna start this, see how I like it, and then go back and forth in between each chapter and see how far I get. So let's get reading. Hi, hello. So I've made it 126 pages into this, and I can't do it anymore. It's so bad. I genuinely don't understand the hype around this book. I mean, I'm a third of this completed, and it still is just like, none of the characters are likable. The plot really isn't that enthralling, and it's like I kind of want them all to die, even though only one person dies. I kind of just want to kill everybody off. Like, I'm really not enjoying it, and I keep on going back and forth. I'll read a few chapters of this because they're relatively short, and I'll go to You Had Me at Ola and go back and forth, try to give this a fair chance. But I kind of feel like giving a book 126 pages out of 386, like a good 30% of a book. I feel like that's giving it a pretty good fair chance. You know what I mean? So I feel bad about DNFing it, because I feel like I've already DNF'd one previous book in this video. I don't want to just DNF my whole entire TBR, but I also don't want to hate read this. So I feel bad. I'm actually and I feel bad too, but water got on her, so the cover's starting to bubble up really bad. I'm going to put her in front of a fan. You can kind of see I'm going to put her in front of a fan before I give her away, because I don't want her to get moldy and gross. Having it all is going well. It's very cute. So at least one of the books is going well. Just wish it was the one I picked green. Alright, this one, and also I bought a microphone, little like lapel microphone, so hopefully you guys will be able to hear me a lot better. Cross my fingers. Oh, this is part of a series. I'll leave that one out so I don't accidentally get it again. Oh, hello, can I grab one? Did have this one. Okay. What are you? It's Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. Okay, so I have a love-hate relationship with Francine Rivers. I didn't really like the masterpiece that much. It was okay. It had some problematic elements in it, but The Lady's Mine was beautiful. I love that book. I will definitely reread it as many times as possible in my lifetime. It's beautiful. Redeeming love. I am not ready for this. I know that for some people, like, that kind of stuff, like the content in redeeming love and like the mistreatment, if you will, that the characters endure, you know, some people can just read that and be totally okay. For me personally, I just don't feel like I'm in that great of a place. I mean, I'm okay, like, don't worry about me, but I just know that's gonna be really heavy, and I'm not really in that kind of mood. So we're gonna pause her. I do want to read her. Okay, just not right now. I feel like every video of mine is just me being like, I don't know if I should read her now. I feel kind of bad, but only slightly. I'm trying to get a book, like a, I don't know, I'm trying to pick one that isn't like all open and stuff where I can kind of almost read them, you know? I'm trying to pick one I haven't. Another series, oh my word. The TBR jar is really like, girl, you just need to finish the guest list. It's not gonna happen, TBR jar. Get it together. Okay. Okay, next one, whatever it is, as long as it's not a series, that I'm in the middle of reading it. Doesn't matter what it is, okay? Huckleberry Finn. Okay, this is actually a illustrated slash, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it unabridged or abridged? I can never remember which one's which. One second. It's not abridged or anything. It's adapted. That's what I was thinking of. I just, for a reason, that word escaped me. So this is adapted. Obviously, it's not as big as the original Huckleberry Finn. But this one is 178, can't talk, pages, and some of them are actually illustrations like this, so it's a lot shorter. Yeah, I mean, I have not read Tom Sawyer yet, so I don't really know the characters a whole lot, but my one of my family members is originally from the area where Mark Twain actually resided, and it has like a whole historical, like, Mark Twain downtown area where you can go and tour different shops and stuff, and actually like the home where he lived in and stuff. It's pretty cool. And they have a cave that you can tour, that we toured, that I think it's either in Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn that the cave is mentioned, and it's actually pretty cool. I forget the name of the town. Is it, I think it's Vandalia, Missouri. I think that's how you say it. So yes, we did that a few years ago, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm excited because now I get to kind of, you know, I'll read the story and then I've already kind of seen the place. So yes, today is Tuesday, the 22nd of July. It's currently 3:30 on the dot, and I will let you know when I finish this. This is gonna go by really quick because it is it's really large words and illustrations. So yeah, I'm going to wait a few seconds. I'm gonna wait a few minutes until 3:35, so that way I have like a clear, like, okay, I'm starting at 3:35, and then time myself. I'm gonna see how fast I can get through this, and then we'll pick another book. Okay, so I finished The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in 58 minutes because it is so short, and it did have the illustrations, and like 40 of those minutes I was actually on the phone talking to my friend and reading at the same time, so I think that I did pretty good. Anyway, I have a little thing rolled up here. And we get to put this into the jar. So, yay! Just love hearing that sound. It's like insert the gift from Charlie Brown. Nickels, nickels, nickels. But let's pick. Oh, I should tell you what I thought, right? I gave this 3.25 stars. I think if it was the original, unadapted, not edited version, I would like it more. But because it was so, you can tell it's for children, not in the sense of like the original isn't also for children, but that this is almost like kind of dumbed down, which I don't really like. But yeah, it was okay. There was a lot of actually a lot of violence in here, which I wasn't expecting, which is funny. But I haven't read Tom Sawyer, so maybe it's kind of like you can definitely tell it was a continuation of Tom Sawyer. That Huckleberry Finn, like you should read Tom Sawyer first, and you don't have to. But yeah, overall, 3.25 stars. Nothing necessarily to write home about, but nothing like, oh, that was so bad. I mean, it is a product of its time, and if you go into that expecting that, then I feel like you can have moderate expectations. So, I don't know. That's what I thought. Anyway, I'm gonna put that on my red shelf, and then we're gonna pick another one. Hopefully it's on a series. Oh, I got two. That's one. Another brown. Picking all the brown ones. Please don't be Tom Sawyer. That'd be so funny. Oh, pause. So I picked A Husband for Hire by Patricia A. Knight. This is actually a book that I got from my library sale. So anyway, this is 299 pages, and it's definitely so this is book one, and then there's A Destitute Duke and Lessons for a Lady. I'm not, when is this published? Oh, this is 2018, so I'm assuming there's more books than that. Those two in this series, or well, three technically, but yeah, this is the first book, and it's the Heirs and Spares book series. Okay, so basically there's this lady named Eleanor, and she's the only heir basically to her father's estate because he had no male heirs. But because there is no male heirs, everything's going to revert back to the crown, and she obviously doesn't want that. She wants to keep her family home and all of her titles and everything, right? So she's looking for basically an immediate husband, and so she hires this man who essentially has kind of not conned his way, but like he's relied on like wealthy widows and stuff to kind of like keep himself afloat. So she hires him to basically marry her, which is funny. So the ending thing is cute. It says, when Eleanor bought Miles as a husband, she never intended to lose her heart. When he accepted her proposal, Miles never imagined he wanted more from Eleanor than her money. So, sounds intriguing. Hopefully it's good. I'm always a little like, oh, you never know when it's like a random publisher you've never heard of before. It's like, who's publishing this book? You know? But, oh, random horse. Interesting. Oh, that's cute. Dedication says, this one's for you, Mom. You always wanted me to write a Regency. That's precious. I don't know where the horse comes into play, but it's like the chapter head. So, that's cool. Anyway, I think we're going to do We'll do this pretty blue one that kind of feels like something that they would, like a print that they would have back then, you know? That's my line of thinking. Anyway, let's read the first line. Oh, wait. That's the, like, thank yous. Chapter 1. There we go. Okay. Chapter 1. London, late February 1814. These are the best marital prospects you can discover in all of London. Honestly, it goes the same for Wisconsin. Lady Eleanor felt. I will update you when I've read something.
You guys, I got a new microphone. It's on me right now. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. I kind of feel like I sound like I'm on a phone call, but is that better than me being too quiet that you can't hear me? Question mark? I don't know. So basically, I'm not going to return the microphone because it wasn't that expensive, and I don't feel like it'll be worth to return it. But yes, definitely let me know what you guys think. But I'm making progress. So I'm 50 pages into You Had Me at Hola, which isn't that many more than what I said before, but I haven't read that much. But it's going really good, and it's so cute so far. So I really like that she isn't as bilingual as she wants to be. So I'm hoping that we kind of get that. I guess I just kind of hope that she learns more Spanish and she really learns more about that side of her family. Like, because for me, her family is Hispanic and Latin origin, but it would be really cool for her to kind of learn Spanish, and that way she can relate to her relatives in an even deeper and more emotional way because she shares not only English with them but Spanish. I think that'd be really cool because a lot of her family members are disappointed that she doesn't know Spanish, and it's um, kind of like a running joke in her family. And then, but so far it's cute, and I really, really love Ashton. We learned something about him. I'm not going to spoil it because I think technically it's a spoiler, but it made me love him even more. And if you know, if I'm on page 50, so it happens in the first 50 pages. So if you know, you know. I don't know if you can hear that or not. If you can't, I'm so sorry. My light is clinking because the washing machine is on. But yeah, it's really cute. I really like their first meeting. It was really funny. And I'm excited to see more of them together outside of the screen. I also like how they have actual scenes of the TV show script in here. So basically, it's them walking through the actual TV show, and then it has scenes of them just being, themselves, because in real life, if you will. So it's cute. I'm enjoying it. Hopefully, it continues to stay cute, and I continue to enjoy it. And the second book is Husband for Hire. I almost said Heirs and Spares, but I realized it's the book series title. So this one's good. I'm only 26 pages in, so it's nothing to write home about so far. The only complaint I have is that she's mentioned, we're 25, 26 pages in, and it's been like 3 or 4 times that's been mentioned how old she is. She's 30. I understand it was a different world back then, and people really wanted to get married rather young so they could have lots of children because so many children died back then, and the wives died a lot of times in child labor and birth and all that and stuff. So I get it, but at the same time, it's like she's only 30. I feel like that's not that old, but everyone's like, she's 30. She's a blue stocking. It's kind of ridiculous because of that, but I understand time and place. I just thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, I'd have not really a whole lot of feelings other than that because it is so new and we're really just scratching the surface of these characters and who they are and what their ambitions are, what their goals are, and stuff like that. So I will update you when I read something. Yay!
I'm 130 pages in. It's pretty good. pretty good. I will say some of the like verbiage that she uses is a little, it's not pretentious, that's not the right word, but it's like, okay, I feel like I need a dictionary, which she does give you a glossary in the glossary. Can't talk in the back, but it's like, okay. Anyway, um, it's good. It's good so far. There has been some miscommunication already, but it's been cleared up. So I can't necessarily complain. But then there's also a plot, and I feel like I can't really say what it's gonna be, but I feel like it might be a little ridiculous. So we'll see if it actually ends up being anything good or not.
Hi, so I finished A Husband for Hire, gave it 2.75 stars, but I rounded it up to 3 just because most of the reading tracking apps or places like Goodreads and stuff only let you do like 2 stars or 3 stars, so it's easier just to round up. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it wasn't bad. It was just okay. It wasn't my favorite in the whole entire world. I will say I did like that he fell first. That's one of my favorite kind of like little micro tropes. Anyway, I put the tab in here already. Um, I forgot to record that, but we're making progress. Yay! I'm so excited about that. So yes, I also I did unhaul a book, Big Little Lies by Lane Moriarty, however say her name. Just not interested in it anymore. And every time I see it on my shelf, I just know deep down inside I'm never gonna read that book. So, but I'm going to pick another little tab. I did re except this one. I don't know what happened there. Um, I did re like basically make them all smaller, like what I'm doing now for this one last night because I hated that they were all kind of falling out every time I would try to like pick one out and stuff. And that way the cover actually closed nicely on it and stuff, and I could actually swirl them around and pick one without like, so little pink one. I cut some of these so thin, I'm afraid to rip them. I guess. Ooh, Harry Potter. So this would be the third Harry Potter book. Interesting. Okay, let me go grab that and then let me go grab a bookmark for it. Okay, so this is Harry Potter. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This is the third book in the series out of 7. I did choose this Kiki delivery service bookmark because it kind of like it fits, you know. But yes, because it is kind of like in the middle of the series, I'm not going to give a full synopsis of it. But basically, um, Harry is in his third year of going to Hogwarts, and he, like, the whole plot is centered around an escaped convict, the prisoner of Azkaban. So it follows that whole thing. And there's like a subplot with Hagrid. I have read this before, but I'm rereading this series because I only ever got up to the 4th book, and then I just never completed the full series, and I want to really bad. So I have technically read this before, but it's been so long, I don't remember everything that happened in it. And it has been so long since I saw the movies for it that I don't really remember. So let's read the first line together as always. It's chapter 1, Owl Post. Harry Potter was a highly unusual boy in many ways. So I will get reading and I will let you know my final thoughts. I probably won't stop in the middle and give you a huge update or anything unless something really drastic happens, but I am just going to get reading because I want to fit as many books as I can into this video, and I will do at the end, I will stack all of them up, even the ones I'm DNFing and unhauling, so that way you can see how many books we got off of my actual shelves. So, yes, let's get reading. Hi, hello. So, I finished You Had Me at Ola. I gave it 3.5 stars. It wasn't incredible, but it wasn't bad. It just had the miscommunication trope, because of course it does. When will authors learn that readers don't really like that? I feel like they say this every single time it's a romance book. There's always some kind of miscommunication, and this book did not need to be 361 pages, especially because the epilogue is only one, two, three, four pages long. So this was basically 357 pages. Why? It did not need to be that long. It could have been 315 probably, and we would been okay. There were a few scenes that I had to skip, but I don't remember it being overly like. I feel like you could pretty much tell it was like leading up to it, and then just skip it, and you were fine. I didn't really add anything or take away anything from the story in a sense of like I don't think you missed anything from it from skipping. At least I don't feel like I missed much. I did really like the family aspect of this book. There's a lot of really close family members, and won't spoil because there's some spoilers having to do with family. But I both like that Jasmine and Ashton were both big on family. Jasmine more so with how her family doesn't think that she has a real job because she's an actress, and Ashton with his family because they live out of the country and he's here in America, and he feels that kind of disconnect. So I really liked that part of it. I wish um, Alexis would have dived in more deeply into some of Jasmine and Ashton's problems on their own. Like it mentions it briefly in the epilogue, but like Jasmine, she had a really bad time self-soothing with alcohol, and I wish that would have been addressed more. I feel like it's kind of just like a little like afterthought in the epilogue, like oh yeah, we have to like pull all this together, and really it could have been something that's more focused on, especially it being a female. I think that would have been really powerful, because you don't necessarily hear that in books. You see a lot of that about guys, their drug addictions, their alcohol addictions, what have you. But for it to be a lady and someone who feels like she has to have certain kind of front and stuff, I think could have been super powerful, and it wasn't. And so I feel like that was a really big missed opportunity, which disappointed me. But overall, it was cute. It wasn't spectacular by any means, but it was decent. Um, there's a lot of Spanish in here. I did Google Translate a little bit, but most of it is you can kind of understand what they're saying just from the tone of like what's going back and forth and stuff. So it wasn't overwhelmingly like I don't know what's happening because there was Spanish. It was very much um, it flowed really well. So I actually really liked this part of that. It reminded me kind of in that sense the book thief has some German words in it, and you can kind of tell what they're saying just from the tone of the scene and how the characters are acting towards one another. So I thought that was really cool. It made me feel like it was more authentic that she did have Spanish in here, and that it was so natural for the characters just to go in between Spanish and English. So I really did like that part about it. So let me get all of the books together that I read. And then I am technically still in the middle of Harry Potter. I'm like 60 something pages in. I didn't finish it obviously, but it is Sunday. I finished this yesterday. I didn't say that. I finished this yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to film last night. But I'm wrapping it up today, which is Sunday. So let me get all the books that I read this week. So these are all of the books. We have In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle, A Husband for Hire by Patricia A. Knight, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, You Had Me at Ola by Alexis Daria, and Harry Potter #3 by obviously J.K. Rowling. And yeah, this is, I feel like, a pretty good, like a decent amount of books to get off my TBR in a week. Um, Obviously, I'm still in the middle of Harry Potter, but I will continue to read that. And then In 5 Years was a DNF slash unhaul. Um, a Husband for Hire probably will not go actually on my bookshelf. I'm just going to give her away to somebody or to my library and stuff because I don't necessarily need to keep her. I didn't love her that much. And then Adventures of Huckleberry and You Had Me at Ola will go on my red shelf because I did enjoy them enough to do that. And then obviously, when I'm done with Harry Potter, she will go back into my Harry Potter chest that I have that has all the books in it. That's like a Hogwarts themed chest that the this edition comes in, that I got for a Christmas present a few years ago. So yay! I feel like it was an overall pretty good reading week. I do wish I would have gotten through one more book, but that's okay. Um, Overall, I feel like, what was that, 5 books? I think it was, more or less, getting through, or at least just like kind of taking them off my shelf, knowing, okay, I don't like this book, I'm going to take it off, it's not going to stay on there. I count that as a win still. So yes, I am excited. I do like this kind of theme, or like this setting for a video, so I think I probably will do something similar to this again. Let me know if you did like it in the comments down below. If you did like it, it would be really helpful for me if you would give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. I hope that you guys like the new microphone and that you guys can hear me better. I bought it with that intention at least, so hopefully it's working out good. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Love you, bye.